Good morning, noon, or night. My name is Jet, and welcome to my channel, JITV, Jet in the Valley. I'd like to discuss what free will is and what free will is not. So in this reality, there are parameters set. There are already some existing rules that are here that cannot be changed. So with free will, we have the free will to choose love, or we can choose anything other than love, anti-love, which is falseness. Because the love is the creative force of everything. Love is what is animating and keeping alive people. So you have the free will to choose love, and with love you'll receive joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, self-control. Those are all things that come from love. Those are all things that we want, and we say that we want, and we say that we value. If you choose the opposite of love, you get the opposite of those things. You have fear, hate, pride, envy, lust, greed. All of those things will be what you have if you don't choose love. So what we have is the free will to choose to align ourselves with love, or we can choose to align ourselves not of love. What we don't have the free will to do is to change the definition of what love is. We can't change the definition of what love is. So if you're doing things that are opposite of love, let me see if I have this list pulled up. If you're of love and you're doing things of love and in love, it will be reflective of you being honest, having self-confidence, being creative, being loyal, having curiosity, having compassion, empathy, optimism, integrity, courage, being humble, ambitious, having a good imagination, being generous, being polite, having kindness, adventurous, respectful, and you'll have self-control. All of those things come from love. If you choose opposite of love, you will have selfishness, pessimism, dishonesty, greed. You'll be stubborn and arrogant. You'll be impulsive, cowardly, cruel, rude, callous, disloyal, vain, neurotic, reckless. You'll be resentful. You'll manipulate people, uncontrolled anger, and disrespectful. There's actions that we can take. Every choice we make, we get to choose one of these things. We can do for love or against love, opposite of love, in place of love. Anything that separates you from love, anything that would cause any of those traits, that would cause you to be dishonest or pessimistic, or, being selfish or arrogant, being cowardly, anything you could do that you choose to be resentful instead of forgiving, those things will separate you from love. You'll get, the more of those you do, the further away from love that you get. So the further away from love you get is further away from what most people say they want in their life, which is joy, peace, contentment, happiness, self-control, being able to be giving and forgiving and all of those things. If you are doing all these actions that are opposite of that, that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get love. You cannot, what do they say? You can't, You can't get oranges from an apple tree. These rules are set and they're in place. Even if we don't like them, I don't like a lot of things because I've had to change a significant amount of the things that I've done. It doesn't mean just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's not true. If we could change these rules that are existing, then we would have already been able to do it. And thankfully we can't. So with your free will, you cannot change the definition and meaning of love. You can only choose to line yourself with love, which is all of the good things, or you line yourself with not of love, opposite of love, in replacement of love. So these are the rules that are in place. I did not make the rules. It's just really not fair, and it's really quite evil that, you know, I'm just a regular person that's been going through the systems in this life, and I figured this out. So who all has this information on how this is operating and that this is the rules of the game, and they haven't been telling anybody? I mean, we all know, like, oh, you do good, you know, good things will come to you, and we, like, all say these things, but if someone would just sit down and say, this is how it operates, I mean, it could potentially save a lot of people a lot of grief if you do it while they're young. If you do it before the age of 6 or 7, our brains are still in, basically it's theta, so it's basically we're in hypnosis until we're about 6 or 7. That's when all your programming of life basically takes place, is before the age of 6 or 7. That's why there's so many problems that you can't seem to put your finger on or fix, or you just can't see where it's coming from, because it's coming from your programming. So if we could get this information out and enough people would be willing to admit that this is how it operates, these are the rules of the game, and even if they weren't capable or didn't want to or whatever change themselves all the way, if you could teach the children right from the beginning that this is how things operate, it would save so much pain and suffering and grief for all people. So with that, I'm going to leave this one, and thank you and much love.